It's unbelievable how much in a tunnel you are. And even more so in a Euro. We were together for 6 weeks. I have no idea what's going on in the world in that period. And I was so focused on winning the next match and helping, because there's so much at stake. There's so many people, 5.5 million people in Denmark who really wants us to win. You're really in a bubble and you're really focused. And there's nothing in the world but that game. In 19, I was actually on my way to a European club, and Peter Møller, the sports director, asked me for a meeting before I found out where to go, and we talked about Danish football. There was a lot of talks about this national team football on the way out, because the big industry and Champions League and the big clubs were taking over. When we were looking at our kids, they were running around with the t-shirts of the big clubs in Europe, not with the Danish national team shirt. So is it actually on its way out? So Peter Møller told me, okay, it's now. Kasper, I want to hire you. You'll start in 2020, but I will hire you now, and so you can start to write a vision, and you can prepare your job for 1 year. There must be a purpose. Why do we have a national team? What is the institution of a national team football? Everything starts with identity for me. So I interviewed the Prime Minister and the former Prime Minister, with the national team coaches from other federations, musicians, actors, about what is Denmark? Why, when we have success, why do we have success? What is the identity of Denmark? Because I think identity is number one. And then when we talk about football, number two is the playing style that's accordingly to the identity.
Denmark's dreams become reality.
It must show who we are. We must show that we are attached to the identity. And the third thing in that is the players. The player, how do they communicate on the pitch, off the pitch?
Double to rocket! Andreas Christensen for Denmark!
And the fourth is the leadership. How do we lead? How do we lead in Denmark with the identity we have? But from that time I knew I was taking over. I started working with the players as well, talking to them about what was on our side that we could do better to create an atmosphere where the people wanted us, and we could be communicating with the press and the people, so they loved us and they wanted to join us, and the players were just attached to the vision, and they were fantastic to work with. And then we started 2021 in the World Cup qualification with 3 games, winning 2-0, 8-0 and 4-0, and that was the last 3 games before the Euros. So the expectations were very high going into the Euros, first time ever at home in Copenhagen. And when things happened with Christian, when he had his cardiac arrests that June day in Copenhagen, that culture was under pressure. Do we really stick together? Do we really help each other? And so that was the test of who we were. And I think we showed everyone, we showed the world what character the team actually has, and also the country, because the whole country supported and helped us.
Goodness, it's gone down there, Eriksen, that's worrying. Well, this is really disturbing.
At that time, it's only about praying and hoping for the best. So after, I can look back on the behavior of the team and our medical. They saved Christian's life. They went very quickly. He was gone for 4 minutes, but they were quickly there. The players protected their friend. They were supporting Sabrina, the wife, So they were just very, very generous, and they were thinking about each other and the whole group the days after. What you have to remember, I think it's important to know that 2 of our players were in Ajax when it happened to also a player in Ajax, and he recovered the first days, but 3 or 4 days later he went back, and very severely. So, and also the traumas of your life. I lost my uncle at a cardiac arrest on the football pitch, so you know all my feelings came back from that incident. The same with the players, what they have experienced in their life, you know, it comes back at that moment. They look at Christian's face, they see something, another face they have experienced. So, you know, you open a box of emotions. I saw a big front page of Washington Post saying, "We are red, we are white, we stand together side by side." We had prizes of being a good team, the team of the year. And so what we think we are, and our competitive edge, is our culture and who we are. And I think that is underlined by that behavior. So they are big role models for the next generation, and I love being around them. I couldn't believe it when I saw it was in Qatar. I was very curious. I thought, okay, Qatar, for sure. I think it's wrong that the process have openly. We all know now that the process of the whole ship and the way the whole ship was given to Qatar was wrong. And I've been trying to do my best the last couple of years to read a lot about it, to talk to trade unions, to BWI, to ILO, and talk to human rights organizations. And when I ask people who knows more about human rights than myself, when I ask Amnesty International, none of them has told us it's the best thing you can do is to boycott. None of them. So how can we be better than them to know about these things? I cannot see it. Generally, I really mean the best way of changing the world to something better is to be together. Common goal, in the words also say common, we go together. So when we join our forces, we have a much stronger voice and we can do much more together. So I know a lot of players who are doing great stuff without you knowing it, without telling anyone. I see more and more players doing fantastic things. But I think it's a good idea to join Common Goal because we can do things together as a group. And if we do it in common, we can really do great things. Asking a young player, football player, to try to give his opinion about very complicated stuff. It's not possible to have the answers of these questions when you are actually in it. We have other people in DBU, our federation, our director, our board, who handles these questions during the competition. I think if we do it, a lot of people would say, stick to your focus, you are there to play football. And if we don't, another group would say, why don't you raise your voice? So it's difficult for the players. We didn't take this decision about where it should be. With our team, we stand for diversity, the human rights. We are playing for the children of tomorrow. We have these values. This is who we are. I love football. I love the World Cup. I think sports, football can change and can do positive changes. We have to put pressure on the people who decides all the big decisions, because players and coaches, we are never heard in the big decisions. So I think it's important that we work together, try to change that.